How do you like your visit to Birmingham? It's wonderful. So I got a joke.
Perfect.
So this might take a little while, because we all give lectures, right?
Yes.
All right. So this famous professor was giving lectures, and he had a butler who drove him around because he was so famous, and they would pay him a lot of money, and he'd go to all these countries, and the butler would drive him to the lecture, sit in the audience, listen to the lecture, get him, take him back home, to the next, his airplane, his private plane, fly him to the next place. And he did this for like 3 years, and the butler, when one of the plane rides to the other place, the butler commented to the professor, he said, "You know what, I've really heard this talk so many times, I think I could probably give it." And then the professor said, "Yes, you probably can, but what if you get asked a question?" He says, "Well, no one ever asked you a question." And so he said, "Yeah, okay, I guess why don't we try it?" So he came to the next place, and the butler dressed as a professor, and the professor was sitting in the front row. And then, but no one knew the professor because he wasn't that famous in that town. They heard of him.
And his butler.
He had his butler. So anyway, so the butler came out, gave the talk flawlessly, and somebody said, "I've solved that equation before. That's not a factor of 3 in the denominator. That's a factor of 2, and I can prove it." And then he says, "No, you're wrong. As a matter of fact, that is such a trivial question. I'm not going to answer it. I'll have my butler answer it."
That's great. I love it.
Shall I talk about the goat
Yeah.
in the hole?
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
The goat's always a
but
good
don't,
story.
don't screw it up. I'll give you the short version. Let me see. Someone was walking in the field, and he saw this big hole. He said, "Whoa, I never saw a hole that big." And he said, "I'll see where the bottom is." So, you can't see, so he just threw a rock down. And he didn't hear it hit, so he said, "Well, listen to this big rock." So he really threw this huge rock, and it still didn't hear it hit the bottom. He said, "I need something bigger." And he found a railroad tie, and he threw it in there, and all of a sudden, it went down. And then the strange thing, while he's looking at that, listening for it, a goat ran across the field and dove into the hole. and then I still didn't hear it. Okay, well, what's going on? The farmer came up and said something like, and he said, "Hey, you've got a big hole in the middle of your field here." And the farmer said, "Yeah, oh yeah, that's really deep. You got to stay away from that." By the way, is another strange thing about this hole is a goat ran across the field and dove into it. And he says, "Oh, I was looking for my goat, but that wouldn't be my goat because my goat's tied off to this big railroad tie."
That's good. You got it right.
Okay.
All
You're up.
right, now Rob.
I didn't prepare my jokes. Yeah, I know you guys are much funnier. I think probably the best thing I can do is
You can sing, right?
Blue Velvet, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have the lyrics with me, so.
Wait.
And I probably need a couple drinks too.
Have you been singing this song for some reason?
Yeah, but there was a Christmas
No,
party.
it's a blue Christmas.
It's a blue Christmas.
It's a
Oh.
blue Christmas without you.
Right,
Okay,
right,
go.
right.
I do like
Go,
that
Rob.
song.
Go.
If I had my trumpet,
I've
I
got
could play it.
performance anxiety.
I think you mentioned it.
I'm going to
last
do
week.
a Mickey Mouse impression instead of
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Good,
That's
that's
good.
fine.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like a Barmage. See, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
Elvis.
Yeah, bad Elvis. The ones like that are on welfare because they can't make a living doing their impression. I don't even remember the words.
But we can go to your brother.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
You got it. He's getting it. You got it. Okay.
Oh, I play the drums.
No, he doesn't.
I'm kidding. We were talking about his daughter that plays the drums. I thought.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Alina plays the drums, and I thought it was going to be my son that I was going to have to tell him to play the drums. But
Well, why don't I tell a twin story?
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Okay. All right. So, and Robert was the one who witnessed this. I heard this. So the chairman of the genetics department at WashU when I was there is a guy named Bob Waterston, and so he was on the lecture circuit talking about the Human Genome Sequencing Project, and so he was at University of Washington giving a talk, and so he talked about the progress and how things were going, and then people lined up afterwards to start asking questions. and Robert lined up in line. I don't know what you were going to ask, but so they.
I was gonna see if I could pull them.
But someone in front asked a question about RNA genes or some about hidden Markov models and certain kind of analysis. And Bob looked at the line and he said, "Well, actually, I don't know that much stuff, but Todd Lowe, who's from Sean Eddy's lab, they do that kind of stuff all the time. These two people behind you should ask him." And Robert's like, "What?" And Bob came and told me that story afterwards. He thought, "How did I know that? Would I know that you have a twin brother at the University of Washington?"
Weren't you at a biotech or something meeting and someone said, "So Rob, what are you doing way out here?" Or
Oh yeah, that's
That
happened
comes up
several
all the time.
times. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember that particular case, but yeah, when people say, "I think I know you," I'm like, "You probably do, but we've never met."
That's interesting because your laugh is the same.
Right.
yeah, equally annoying.
Isn't your laugh similar?
Pretty similar?
Mine-
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound the same to you, right?
I guess
the
you're
voice
hearing
is-
the
Well, I didn't
Different.
notice it, but your laugh is so distinct,
Yeah.
so different, but it's the same.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can, check that for genetically influenced, right? Of course, we weren't separated at birth, so we don't know. Maybe it was just the family,
Right.
All right. Yep.